Maxwell Tanny would ask, do you believe in witches?
I do believe in witches. Was because, I mean, Wicca is a real religion, and they would class themselves as witches. I mean, I don't know if I believe in evil, scary hags riding broomsticks, but I do believe in witches.
Like, what do you think a witch is, like, metaphorically? Like...
We were reading the Hansel and Gretel story last night, and she's always like she's always a bad woman. You know, in Hansel and Gretel, the stepmother sends them away, and then they're to be eaten by the witch in the woods. And I think she's the same woman, the stepmother.
Yeah, like
and
she
the witch.
is.
She's the same. It's the bad. She's just a bad, nasty woman.
Yeah, the real evil characters in that story are the father and mother that abandon their children.
For sure.
Yeah.
And he's a bit of a dope.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, I really don't want to send them out to starve to death, but okay. And what I love, you know what I love about this show is that it's not gender specific witchcraft. There are male witches and there are female witches.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah.
You're still not going to get to be one though.
Unless I am one already. And I'm pretending. At NILSD asks, do you have a favorite prop from the show? And for me, that's a leading question.
But I'm not going to say that one.
Well, it's not going to be your favorite, but it's my favorite.
Seth's favorite prop of mine is my broom, which I create magic with Janet with Mary with. My favorite props are the animals. I love it when we get to work with the animals. Not the insects. I'm not down with that. But I love it when I got to work with a rabbit, for example. Although I had to sacrifice him.
Aww.
He was adorable in between.
Did you go for it because your method?
I didn't know. I didn't really kill the boo-boo, no.
Aww. At Zombied Clothing would like to ask you, are you using real incantations? And if so, have any creepy situations happened because of the spells / incantations recited on the show?
We are using real incantations. I don't know if they're kind of as written, but the one where I bring the dead man to life, the necromancy one, that's a real incantation. And Julie, who does my hair, was really nice and brought me in a bracelet of tourmaline, which I think is supposed to repel negativity. And you know what? I'm not even sure I believe in that stuff, but that day I stuffed that tourmaline bracelet into my bra because it's better to be safe than sorry.
All right, Ashley Madekwe.
Yes.
At Tiny666Monster, with a capital R, would like to know, have there been any spooky phenomena while filming, since this is based on a true story where people were killed?
I don't think there has been any spooky phenomena yet, but I'll tell you something. If you're filming at night on location and you kind of wander off the path, it ain't good. And everyone's getting injured.
Yes, the injuries.
So I think we're cursed. All the regular cast so far, barring Seth and Shane, have been injured. Knock on wood. I slipped out my trailer and tore my meniscus. Ido has fractured his wrist. He played Isaac. He fractured his wrist. Elise sprained her knee.
Tamsin
twisted her ankle. Janet's had a chipped tooth.
So no, it's not cursed at all.
We're not cursed. Geo Burrows would like to know, when filming ends after a particularly long / intense day, is it hard for you to leave your character behind?
It is. I find myself watching... I've gone through all of Futurama when I get home because I kind of need a palate cleanser. And I mean, it's crazy. All day you're like, you're screaming, you're running from various things that I can't mention, and you're fighting things, you're fighting demons within yourself, and when you get home you find yourself like
tired and
breathing
dirty.
a little strong. Yeah. And so I kind of need something to come down, and instead of drugs I use Futurama.
Nice.
Yeah.
At Martha Carrier 19, other than your own role, what Salem character would you most like to play? And why? I'm adding that.
What would I most like to play? I'd love to play a witch of some kind. I don't want to give anything away about any of the other characters, but yeah, being a witch would be cool. I'm a cop and I want to be a robber, you know.
At John Alden would like to know this.
Ooh.
Surprised he has a Twitter
Is
account.
that Shane West's secret account?
Yeah, one of many. Is there anything you discovered when researching for the show or your character that surprised you?
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool to experience and recontextualize my understanding of America before the American Revolution, like to really get the context. Adam Simon shared it with me. And
Is this a period of history that's taught to you in school here?
It is, but it's just, it's all I remember is like the Arthur Miller version of The Crucible. Like that's kind of what we got to describe what happened in Salem. But when you think about what actually caused things and think about landing in a new world, all there are trees, it's wild, and there's Native Americans there that are perhaps wanting to hunt you down. And you think of that mindset of literally like chopping down trees, building cabins, starting a new society in this place that wasn't even on a map before. It totally changes your understanding. I mean, that's the history of America. Like that's where it really began, like this current version. And so the fear that people must have had and the paranoia, they were constantly on the verge of starving. There were famines, there were diseases, and there were people in the woods to fight. And then at nighttime, there was no electricity, and fire can only illuminate so much. So in those shadows, in that darkness, like your imagination, we were just coming out of the dark ages where like we didn't know what existed and knew so little about the world. So who knows what's in that forest? And so to me, that's been the most surprising and enjoyable thing is understanding that mindset during that time period.
All right, Seth Gabel.
Yeah.
At future_folk would like to know,
Future folk, okay.
what scares you in art or real life?
Oblivion, mortality, the fact that we don't know what happens after we die, forgetting my lines, because for some reason I associate that with death.
I'm getting a small glimpse of what it's like to be your therapist. Small glimpse.
And losing Twitter followers.
Losing Twitter.